Is Heart of Stone any good? Let's find out right now.
Finesse the majors, that's my form of reparations. They said you can't slide, you're a treasure to the nation.
Alright, before we get started, make sure to leave a like on this video. It helps out a lot. But a quick plot description of this movie before we get started says Rachel Stone is an intelligence operative, the only woman who stands between her powerful global peacekeeping organization and the loss of its most valuable and dangerous asset. So yeah, this is this is another Netflix movie. Let's just say that real quick. If you love this movie, you might hate my review and you might hate me after this. But I guess that's just how we do it. That's the reason that film is subjective, because I just did not like this movie at all. Let's just say for every extraction that we get 30 of these Netflix horrible action movies that they try to make good, but it just wasn't good. And I went into it with really low expectations. How can I go into something with this low of expectations and just come out so disappointed and just so full of hatred? I don't know how, but it's just not what I expected. You know, I feel like this movie's plot is trying to be so smart that it just ends up being so dumb, and I feel like it's just trying to be so much like Mission Impossible at points, because you do have producers from Mission Impossible movies, and it just doesn't come anywhere close to those movies. Mission Impossible is in its league of its own. John Wick in a league of its own, and Extraction is kind of it's kind of Netflix's best action franchise. And I feel like this is trying to be too much like those franchises in so many different ways. It's trying to take so much from those movies, and none of it works for me. I mean, what I can say positive for this movie, because I'm not going to give it like a 1 out of 10. That's like, I have to really hate it. But what I can say for positive, I did like the first 15 minutes of it. But after that, I just felt myself just counting down the minutes of when this was going to be over, and really just laughing at some of the issues that this movie had. Plot issues, script issues, and kind of action issues. It kind of brings me to our main actress. The main selling point of this movie is Gal Gadot, and I wasn't impressed with her here. I am not very impressed with her in a lot of her movies. The first Wonder Woman is an exception. I thought she was really great in that one. I thought her acting was amazing in that one. But here, it just seemed like she lacked any interest for the role, lacked any charisma, didn't want to make her character stand out. She just wanted to make her character a stone cold like killer in this one. And I wasn't really with that. Like, I love Extraction because our main character, Chris Hemsworth, is a really cold killer, but he does have some great moments in there of levity in there. So I really do like that. And Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves, they have their own specific moments that I really love and enjoy from them. But Gal's acting here just wasn't too great. You know, every time she says a line, I just feel like it just doesn't come across in this movie too well. And it really does make me worry for how she's going to do in the Snow White remake. I think she plays the evil witch, the evil queen in that one. And that's a hard one to do, considering what that really requires as being like the evil person in that movie. So it really makes me worry for how that movie's going to do, especially with the backlash going on with that movie right now. I don't know. I'm really interested in that movie. I'm probably going to react to a trailer when it comes out, but it's going to get a lot of backlash, and I just might not be with it, especially from Gal's perspective. And we just had news that she's not going to be making a Wonder Woman 3, so I guess I can be happy about that. But I hope Gal can find some stuff that she can really do well with. I mean, I think that she could do a comedy pretty well. I would love to see her do another comedy after Keeping Up with the Joneses. That's another one. I thought she was pretty good in that one. I don't think action is her forte after Wonder Woman 2 failed, and I think this is going to fail miserably. I don't think action is for her. Their character is just really bland, and she doesn't have anything to really back it up or make it any better. So I don't think she elevates the script or elevates her character in any well way. So I didn't really enjoy her here that much. The rest of the cast is pretty small. We actually have Archie Madekwe in here from Gran Turismo. I was very surprised to see him in here, but he only has a very short screen time in here. He's only in it for like 10 minutes. Jamie Dornan from 50 Shades movies, I think he's okay. He has a pretty interesting and integral role in the movie. But other than that, I don't think anyone else really has a lot of screen time to really capture my attention so much, because I think this movie is just a Gal movie. Like, Gal Gadot, she just is in the movie for the whole movie. It's basically her movie, and she didn't have any really side supporting characters that were able to take the screen for more than 5 minutes at a time. That I don't know. Maybe that was Gal Gadot's idea, or maybe that was the producer's idea. Just make it her movie, sell it as her movie. It's gonna be amazing. But what I'm seeing from this movie, it's not amazing. No one I think thought it was amazing. Most of the reviews are bad, so I'm not the only one who thinks it's not a great movie. And the action here, it's not that great. You know, as I said, it's trying to take too much from these other franchises and is trying to be like them, but it just doesn't look anything like them. Some hand-to-hand fight scenes were actually pretty good, especially in the first 15 minutes, as I said. But most of these action sequences are some that I've seen in other movies, and they were done so much better. And the framing of each action sequence didn't seem good. I don't know what the camera work was doing. The camera work never seemed to be great in this one, and the camera never seemed to be in the right spot during an action sequence. I just felt like the camera was way off during all these action sequences. Maybe you had someone who didn't know how to shoot action shooting this movie. I don't know what was going on there, but it just didn't work for me, and I thought the action was very, very mid. You know, it just felt like such a D tier action movie that you'd see in the early 2000s, and we're not in the early 2000s, so I'm not really expecting that kind of weak action in my movies. And the CGI was weak. Let's just say that. For a Netflix movie that probably has a huge inflated budget like this one, let's just say all the Netflix movies have inflated budgets. Even their comedies have inflated budgets. And this is a high budget action movie with Gal Gadot. This one's probably has a huge budget. Let's just say that. It has some insanely horrible CGI. Not the worst CGI I've seen this year, but it's not great. Like, you have one scene where Gal's running off a blimp and it's being blown up and it just doesn't look realistic. We all know that's a green screen. And then you have a skydiving scene right after that just doesn't look real at all. Their bodies just look so plasticky in that scene. And then you have scenes with Gal and other characters on motorcycles, and they're shooting it in such a weird way when they're shooting the scene where the motorcycles are coming towards you and you're just looking at the characters through their visors, and none of it looks real. The background looks insanely fake, and I don't even believe that the characters are in those suits. I feel like that's fake. And I feel like each scene with those motorcycles just takes me out of the movie so much. I laugh at it so much. And I can't tell, to be honest with you, since the CGI and green screen was so bad, I can't tell if this is Gal doing the stunts or not. She's skydiving down a mountain during a scene. She's skydiving just in the air during one scene. She's running off blimps. Is she actually doing this action for real? I don't know, but I'm not going to make any assumptions. But if she isn't, then she can't call herself a really movie star. She's not doing stunts like Tom Cruise or Keanu Reeves. Let's just say that. But if she is, good for her, but the action still didn't look great in my eyes, and I thought the CGI looked very weak. So you just have weak CGI and weak action, that doesn't help an already bad movie. And the movie is 2 hours and 3 minutes here. Why is this movie 2 hours and 3 minutes? I know you're trying to get your point across with your plot and these kind of like misdirections, plot twists. The plot twists are so stupid. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I bet you could guess what it is. But it's just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. The first hour is such a bore, except for the first 15 minutes. And the last hour is almost all a bore. I mean, I do like some of the parts where they're in the agency and just maybe talking, but all the action parts don't keep me entertained. If you have an action movie and it doesn't keep me entertained, what even is your movie at that point? Like, yeah, how can you make an action movie that doesn't keep someone entertained? I don't understand it. 2 hours and 3 minutes, way too long for this one. Let's just say that could have been cut down 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and you would have had maybe even a better movie. I don't know, probably cut out some annoying action sequences that didn't look great, annoying plot twists that were just stupid, and then you maybe would have had a better movie. But overall, Heart of Stone just is another Netflix dud right after Bird Box Barcelona, The Outlaws. They're on their losing streak once again. In June, they had 2 great movies with Extraction 2 and Nimona. But in July and this month, we are just not looking great so far. This movie lacked any interesting story, any interesting plot points, and any unique action. You know, I just felt like it took so many action plot points from other movies. And the film also seemed to star an actress that didn't care about the movie or didn't care about the character. Am I blaming her? Not really, but kind of, because she didn't make her character any more likable than the script already did, so I don't really know what to say about that. I don't know how you'd make it better, but I just didn't care for this movie. If you care for it, hey, good for you. Film's subjective. We all have our different opinions. I can respect you for it, but overall, I just didn't like it and I didn't care for it, so I'm gonna give Netflix's Heart of Stone starring Gal Gadot a 3 out of 10. Yeah, not good. It's gonna sit at the bottom of my list for the year, but I've seen a lot of movies this year, so it's not completely at the bottom, so good for it. But if you're looking to shut off your brain for 2 hours, go watch this movie on Netflix. At least you don't have to pay for it to see in the theater, because I would not do that if I were you, if it wasn't in the theaters. But I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Heart of Stone. Let me know your thoughts on the movie if you've seen it in the comments. Make sure to leave a like. It helps out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. I upload almost every day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.